My next guest has got a big fight coming up here at UFC 253 on September 26th. He's going to be taking on Kara France. It is Brandon Royval back here on the program. Brandon, how's it going, man?
Really good, man. You?
Doing well. I see you're in the car. Kind of a usual thing for our interviews. Where you just finished practice? Where are you headed to? Where'd you come from?
Yeah, I'm just finishing practice. About to go to the barber.
Oh, gotcha. Now, are you? I think that I don't know if I talked to you about this last time. Are you like Jonathan Martinez and you get your haircut every week?
No, not every week. Every other week. So I'm not much better, but every other week. There's every single one of these guys on our team. They get their haircut like on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm not on that level. But
no, I'm trying to save some money here. Maybe they must get a discount because that adds up. You know, the haircut's what, like $20?
Oh fuck! I pay more than $20 for a haircut, but I assume they pay about $20 or something. They have that fighter guy that they go to over and over again, and so they have a nice little hookup with him specifically. But I don't know about that. Like I said, I don't care about how I look that much.
Right. Yes. No. Fair enough. Speaking of hookups, this is a huge fight. Just in your second UFC fight for the promotion, it seems like you had a bit of notice for this. When did you actually find out about the matchup with France?
I like before July, I think. I don't know, like probably early July or even before that. I think we had probably the first fight booked on the 26th, man. Because I've known about this for a long time, and way before I've ever heard anything about Adesanya or Alan Blanche or whatever. I'm gonna fuck his name up. I'm sorry.
Oh, Blachowicz, yeah, Blachowicz.
Blachowicz, yeah. So I think we were one of the first ones to know about that. So I've known about this for a long time.
But the Abu Dhabi location, I know that was sort of a bit later, right? When did you find out about that? Because I forget who I was talking to, and they're like, "Yeah, I was gonna say, like someone had just mentioned, they're like, oh yeah, I'm going to Abu Dhabi." So.
Yeah, it was last week. I didn't know. I wasn't too sure. And then, like, the more and more the fight, like they're starting to build on the fight. And I'm like, there's no way this is happening in Vegas. Like,
yeah,
all these guys are from, like, Europe and New Zealand or wherever, And I was like, I was starting to see that it probably wasn't going to happen in Vegas.
There you go. Have you been overseas before in terms of traveling?
No, I've never been out of the country.
Really? Okay. Well, that's cool. Was it? Now, you had a passport, though, I would assume, or did you have to get that figured out for this fight?
Yeah. So I had a passport. I tried to fight in Canada one time, and but then
really, I'm in Canada. What promotion? Do you remember?
I don't know what promotion I was going to try to fight Yoni Sherbatov.
Oh, okay. Probably TKO, maybe.
Yeah, something like that. But it was like shit money and like a week notice. But I barely got my passport, and my was like, nah, it's not worth it, man.
Was it supposed to be in Quebec?
I think it was Quebec, yeah.
Yeah, then I think it would have been TKO or maybe one of those other like sort of upstart promotions. But that's interesting. I always like hearing little stories like that. So
yeah, it was kind of a long time ago. I think it was probably like right after like a Joby Sanchez win or something like that.
Okay.
They offered for me real quick, and I was like, hell yeah, let's do that.
Well, you'd like it up here, man. We love hockey, and you're an Avs fan, so.
Yeah, exactly, man. I feel like Canada always speaks to me, man. It's always some place I want to represent.
A lot of similarities between Colorado and a lot of places in Canada, especially up where I live in Vancouver. So there you go. Yeah. But anyways, we're going to lose half our audience if we don't start talking about the fight here. Have you got your itinerary yet in terms of you traveling there? Because that's obviously something that you're not used to.
I haven't got the itinerary yet, but I have like a kind of an idea. I leave tomorrow morning, Wednesday.
Oh, gotcha.
And then I quarantine in Vegas till Friday, and then we leave at 6 a.m. on Friday to Abu Dhabi. So I don't really know what's going on or anything besides that, but yeah.
Now, the corner situation, I know sometimes when you travel overseas, they're a little bit restrictive on that. Are you getting all the people you want to corner you in this fight?
I'm not getting 3 corners, but I have 2 really great corners, that being Mark Montoya and guess what? I have my corner. I have Alex Hernandez coming into corner.
I was going to ask you about him because I know he's been kind of a nice addition to your team lately. How's he been gelling?
Oh, it's great, man. He gels with the team really well, and I think him and I are really cool. And like I said, I messed him a lot. He messed with me a lot, but like he's just so knowledgeable, man. Really smart kid, and has a lot of good insight on the sport, and really good eye for me to have in the corner.
Cool.
And Mark, so all of us are going to be out there for a month because Youssef fights right after me, so we're going to be stuck out in Abu Dhabi quarantining out there. So
wow, yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, no, I've heard that with a couple of the fighters, and I even know some of the media when they go out there, they have to stay there as well. Not that, I mean, they're not getting punched in the face, but still, that's a lot to sort of commit to that. How do your friends and family feel about that?
My friends and family are really cool with it. I think they think it's a good opportunity. But I think the real issue is like Mark has a family, you know, like I don't have kids or anything. I don't have any like a wife or anything that I need to go report to, or not report to, but like, you know, like you have a wife that you and the kids you have to take care of, and that's he's making a huge sacrifice, man. And Yusuf got on the card, and they wouldn't let us come back for a week and then go right back out there, and it's almost pointless to do that anyways because it's a 17-hour flight and there's so much quarantine time that you need to do. You don't really be home for like a day. But they didn't let him do that, and they said you need to stay out there. So we're all just kind of stuck doing it, and it's even more unfortunate for him. But it's also lucky because like it's what our team's doing, man, and it speaks to the great work he's doing too. Is now we have a guy fighting on the Contender Series tonight, and he's
Colin Anglin, another hockey fan, by the way, too.
Yeah, he's a hockey player. Yeah. I've been meaning to skate with him or something, man. But, yeah, exactly. Colin's fighting tonight. And like I said, Mark's just been traveling. And it's just weird times because you're quarantined and all that stuff. So he's making big sacrifices for us, man. So we obviously got to go out there and perform.
Let's talk about your opponent, Kia Kara France. What I love about this is that obviously France has a lot of hype behind him just because he comes from City Kickboxing. So, I mean, when you found out him as an opponent, you must have been pretty excited.
Oh, yeah, man. What a great opponent, man. I was saying earlier is just what a great opponent to get you out of bed and motivate you to train hard, you know, like and like I said, I've just been like a fan of Kai Kara France and like watched his tough. And then I remember watching him when he got called up to the UFC and all of his teammates cheering and stuff, and that was so cool to see. And I don't know, man, I was huge on him. He seemed like such a cool guy in the Ultimate Fighter. I wanted to win the Ultimate Fighter, and now I'm going to be stepping right across from him in the cage, man. Biggest opportunity of my life, you know.
How do you feel like you match up against him in this fight?
I think I'm a great matchup against him. I think I'm a bad matchup for him. Is really what I think. I think our styles are like not similar. Like he's obviously like a really good disciplined kickboxer, and mine's a little bit more wild kickboxing style. And I think that plays a little bit more to my benefit on the striking point. And I think that my ground game's world class, and I think that my ground game's way better than his if it hits there or goes there. So I think it's a great matchup for me, and I think I'm a little bit like unorthodox for him too. You know, I think I'm not necessarily not like a hard guy to emulate or anything. I'm not trying to say like I'm one of those like you don't have a teammate like me or anything. But I think I just fight a little like a weird. I think I have an awkward style. I think that sometimes like I go out there and throw shit I don't even know what I'm about to do, you know, and just sometimes works out, sometimes it doesn't. I flow a lot, and it just works out sometimes.
Other than Colin Anglin and Hernandez, Alex Hernandez, who we just sort of referenced there, anyone new you're working with, or is it the usual cast of characters? You know, Yusuf Zalal, Jonathan Martinez, Chris Gutierrez, the usual guys.
I mean, he's not a new teammate, but like me and him have been putting in a lot of work, and like so like sometimes like we have like guys whose job it is to break down fights, and like that's their job, is to break down fights, see game plans, all that stuff. And everybody, like my coach, all my coaches are like, just do you, man. This fight's a perfect matchup for you, this and that. And then I have a teammate named Clay, and Clay Matza, and me and him like broke it down. And I have two teammates. I have a team named Rafa and Clay, and it's so cool to have these two dudes around because what they are is just fucking nerds of the sport, man. And you got to have two guys like that and like just watch the sport. They won't even come over to my house to watch MMA fights because they're over there watching it by themselves, taking notes and rewinding it and all this stuff, which is super cool. Like when you have guys like that, and like I said, we broke them down, and me and him have a game plan and a little stuff that like maybe not a game plan, but just stuff I know is going to work, you know, and tendencies that I can capitalize on and all that stuff. And yeah, Clay Matza and Rafa, man, I want to give them a huge thanks for this camp because like I said, I think they're huge City Kickboxing fans too. So they're all huge on those guys. They study all their guys, and to have them like just break down stuff to me and would drill stuff and just have them for an extra hour a day or whatever it is, man, just get those extra work in, those extra hours, and just to break people down. It's so great to have, man. So I can't wait to see what their future unfolds to be, man. And just having them back me and like as like in my corner, just great, man. And I'm growing with them. And like I said, they're pretty young in the sport and young in their careers, but they're gonna do a lot of great things. So having those two especially, man, meant a lot to me this camp.
Love the shout outs. Another teammate I wanted to ask you about, what's going on with Sid Bice? Has he got a fight booked, or what's the latest with him?
Fuck, man. Sid Bice went home to go. He went home to see. He lived in South. He always he lived in South Dakota, moved out to Colorado. He went home for the quarantine because he couldn't get work out here, and he got a really good job out in South Dakota. And he said that he just wants to stay out there till the quarantine's over. But it sucks because like the UFC wants him, man. Like people want like that kid's good. Like, and like now that I realize how like good me and him are too, because like sometimes I'm like, yeah, me and him are good training partners and we're good matchups for each other, but you don't know how good you are compared to the rest of the world. And now that I'm getting like looks from the rest of the world, I'm like, Sid will beat all these guys' asses. Like, man, if Sid watches, man, come home, Sid. We need you, bro. You not only like you owe this to yourself. Like, that kid owes it to himself because he's so good. He put in all this work and he's where he needs to be. And the UFC needs flyweights, man. Every single one of the guys on the Contender Series, he would have mopped up. None of those guys are anything compared to Sid Bice. They don't have any of the competition Sid Bice has. They haven't fought any of the tough opponents that Sid Bice has. All these kids are over here fighting bums and then getting a fight on the Contender Series and then making each other look good because they all suck, you know. And like Sid Bice will whoop all those guys' ass. So I don't know. I want him to come home, and we not only I want him to come home because he'd been a great look for Kai Kara France, but he just owes it to himself, man. He's a fucking stud, and he deserves to be where I'm at right now. He deserves to be a top 10 fighter in the UFC for sure.
I agree with that. Yeah, good call. I didn't know that about him. I know obviously money's appealing, but he was on the cusp. He's always been on the cusp. You guys both have for years, so it's interesting. You know. Yeah,
so I think for the last 3 years, there's always been like that Tapology rankings of like who's going to be called up to the UFC next. And it's always been him and I, 1 and 2, 2 and 3, you know. And he's always probably been number 1 or something, but I've always been like somewhere right behind him or trailing right next to him, you know. Yeah. And like I said, man, me and him grow. Like, I would not have a career if it wasn't for Sid Bice. I wouldn't be where I'm at if it wasn't for Sid Bice, man. And like I said, I hope vice versa. It's the same for him. But like I said, we're two good looks for each other. We make each other better. And I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for him. And he deserves to be where I'm at right now. And I truly believe that.
You mentioned work. I just wanted to clarify this. Did you end up leaving your job? I remember there was some talk of that.
Yeah, bro. I don't have a job anymore. I got a cool sponsor, EAP Sports, man. Right after I came home, they reached out to me, and I have Ed Cyrus from EAP Glass and Desay Sports, EAP Glass. They reached out to me. They're big fight fans. They said they've been watching me for a while and watched my career unfold, and they just said, hey, we want to help you quit your job. And they've been doing that, man. They've been helping me out and just on a week-to-week basis, and it's so cool, man. I don't know, man. It's just great.
Good to hear, man. No, I love it. And I mean, you're at the highest level now. Why not go all in on this stuff in terms of the fight career, which is great. The weight cut, does that have to get altered a little bit just because of the fact you're going to be traveling so much?
My nutritionist said gluten-free for the in-flight because you get swollen on like long plane rides. Mm-hmm. So he said just be careful with that. But my weight cut's money right now. I'm scrawny as shit, and it's coming off, so it's perfect. How's and like all of my other fights were like kind of like a week notice. So like the Tim Elliott fight was like a week notice. So I know I can just get it done no matter what. But the matter of fact that I had so much notice and all this, I've been cutting weight for a long time. It's been easy.
How do you see the fight playing out on September 26th?
I see myself walking out with the W, of course, hopefully. But I just see me overwhelming him, being too much for him, and then I feel like he's going to get a little desperate and put himself in a bad situation. And if not, man, if he starts whooping my ass, it's going to be a brawl. So I'm coming out with 50 extra G's no matter what happens. You know what sucks is I'm on a good card, and every time, like, when the original card, it was, like, just me, Claudia Jadelia, and, like, a couple other people, and I'm like, oh, this 50 G's is going to be ours for sure. I'm like, I'm going to try to double bonus, do all this stuff, and, like, they keep putting killers on the card, and I'm like, all right, well, it's a better card, but like, I'm like, the 50 G's is slowly slipping away. Like,
right,
oh,
yeah.
No. So now I got to fight hard for that. I'm going for those 50 G's no matter what. I'm going for the bonuses, and I'm trying to make a name for myself, man. I'm trying to put on a performance if I put on a good performance, maybe I'm fighting some dude number 6 and down. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I get a fight against Pantoja or Figueroa or, you know what I'm saying? Askarov. Maybe I'm putting myself in title contention if I win the next fight after that, you know. And like I said, it's all good things, man. My career's it's just a start, but I'm excited where we're going, man.
What does downtime look like during this camp? You've had a bit of notice for the fight. I know you've been training really hard, but you need that time to kind of unwind, especially now that you're not working. What have you been up to? Watching any Netflix? Playing any video games?
Yeah. So I got a PS4 like a long time ago. But now that I don't have a job, I'm pretty good at like just playing Call of Duty and just getting killed right off the bat, you know. So it's not even like really fun for me. I just like start the game, get killed, and like. But I don't know, man. Just like Netflix, I've been watching that Cobra Kai. Rolled right through that. I'm starting that like new girl Avatar cartoon series, and I don't know, man. Just Netflix, and like I said, I've been reading a little bit, and that's been pretty cool. So I don't know, just have a lot more free time too.
We're looking forward to the fights coming up here September 26th, UFC 253. Brandon, always appreciate the time, man. Just remind people where they can find you on social media, and if you got anyone you want to thank, you already mentioned the sponsor there. If you got any more, the floor is yours.
Yeah, just EAP Glass again, man. I can't appreciate them enough. Brandon Royval and everything, and like honestly, man, just big shout out to you. I always look forward to our like it's like almost like what we do now. Like right before I fight him, when's James coming up? So it's something I look forward to, man, and it's like cool. And like it's one of the interviews that I always look forward to because we've been doing this for so long. It's like a tradition now. So I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you investing in me early on in my career, man, because I truly like it means the world to me, man. And like I don't know, man. The moment, remember like when like after the fight, they're like, James Lynch got a question, man. I was so excited to hear from you, man. So just thank you for everything. Thank you for everything you do, man, because we wouldn't have this without you, bro.